Hey everyone, so in this video I wanted to go over some of the things we can do with arithmetic operators and some simplified ways we can write some of these structures. So first, I'm going to create an integer and we'll call it num and we're just going to make it equal to 5. So this is of course for example, you always want to name your variables a little bit better than just num, but since this is just an example, that's all I'm going to call it. So we have num. Now I'm going to want to, of course we could go like int answer equals, say, num plus 1, we can always do something like this, but there's something special we can do in Java to actually simplify this statement. So right here, what is happening? Okay, just being funky. So I'm going to run my program, and we could see right here, it has printed out 6. So because num, which is 5, plus 1 equals 6. But there's actually a way we can simplify this in Java. So instead of typing in this, we could say right here, first let me show you this. So instead of making answer, I'm going to make it num itself. And then instead of going like this, we could go like this. Okay, so we have our int num, and we go num equals num plus 1. So we don't have our answer variable anymore. And you can see we still get that same answer. We're just redefining the value of num to equal num plus 1. And this can be confusing if you're thinking of math, because you're thinking like math, like how could x equal x plus 1? Like that doesn't make sense. But that's because the equal sign here is the assignment operator. We're assigning a value. We're not checking for equality. That is the equals sign. Anyways, so we have our equals operator right here, and we can actually simplify this expression. So whenever we're doing num equals num plus 1, we can actually say num plus equals 1. And what this will do is basically go num equals num plus 1, just like we had before. Same exact thing. We could go by 6 if we wanted to. And there we go. We could run this twice if we wanted to. And there's a few other operators we can do as well. So as you know, there's a lot of different operators. So we can do minus equals. We can do, mod equals right here. So we could go mod equals 6. We could do divided equals 6. We could do, and of course this is saying 0 because we're doing integers. Minus equals 6. There's lots of different ways we can do it. So there's two more things I want to show you. So with our first example where we did num equals num plus 1, whoopsie, I put an equal sign there. So num equals num plus 1, we could also simplify this to just num plus plus. And what this is going to do is basically increment num by 1. So we could go right here and say num plus plus, and same thing. So there's one other thing I want to show you though, and that is so this is called the postfix incrementer. We can also do a prefix incrementer, and this is slightly different because the way this is going to work is it's going to basically do it in a different order. Here, let me try to demonstrate. So num plus plus right here is going to give me 5 because it's giving the value of num, and then at the end of this it's up by 1, which does nothing in this case. Here, let's show, but if we put it before, then it increments the value and then does it. So it basically changes the order depending on which side you put it on. I'm generally a much bigger fan of doing it just like this. So doing num plus 1. I think the plus plus operators can get, and the minus minus operators can get a little bit confusing, so I generally try to avoid them unless we're doing a structure we'll discuss later called the for loops. So those are just some of the ways you can also simplify your arithmetic in Java. I hope this tutorial was helpful.